We are live. Hi. It's Friday. I'm so happy it is Friday. How about you? Tell me. How do you feel? How was your week? For me, this week was semi very long. Also, let me know if this sounds okay. I heard, I guess it was last live stream that I did that the music was a little bit loud. So I'm trying to get that figured out. But for some reason, whenever I do my tests, it sounds fine to me. So please drop in chat a message to let me know how the music in the background is. If it is too loud, too low, I don't know. Let me know. But yes, happy Friday. How y'all doing? So today, I have a few different things happening. So first, this is the first time that I'm streaming to Twitch, LinkedIn, and Twitter at the same time. So I decided to try Twitter as a source or a destination for my stream today. So one reason that I keep looking to the side is to make sure that it is live on all the channels and that my stats are coming through. And I don't know how Twitter handles chatting. But I noticed, for example, for my LinkedIn one, I didn't get any messages, although I knew they were happening because I had LinkedIn open. So I need to keep an eye on that to see if it is working. So say hi in chat, say hi in the comments, whatever is the name for wherever you are watching. I'm very happy that you are here. So today we are doing things a little bit different. If you don't know me, if you're new to the stream, hi, nice to meet you. I'm so happy you joined. If you're not new to the stream, you probably already know me. But anyways, hi, I'm Jazz. It's very nice to meet you. I stream on Fridays usually. In the mornings. Well, mornings for me, I don't know what time it is for you, but mornings for me. And I usually do Python, web development, Auth0, all of those good stuff. FastAPI, Flask. I'm working on getting Django going, but this is probably going to be a February thing. But usually I work on my own computer, on my work computer, developing locally. But today I wanted to try something new. I've been using GitHub Codespaces for a long time, basically since it came out, which is not that long, but it is maybe a year and a half. Excuse me. And I use it for mostly developing my stuff on my blog, code samples that I might publish on my blog, blog posts, and whatnot. And today I decided, what if I try to develop a little bit of the things that I've been working on, but on GitHub Codespaces? What would change settings wise and all the configurations that I might need for my application to run, and still manage to do login with Auth0 and logging out and all of that good stuff that I normally do. So I was curious and I was like, well, why not try? So here we are. So today's live stream is going to be a little bit different. As also important notice is I'm going to be streaming also this afternoon. Well, at least afternoon for me. AM morning-ish, right before lunch for people that are in the West Coast. So yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be also doing a live stream. And this time would be me and Shreya, which is a co-worker of mine, very good friend. So I'm very happy about that one. Oh, hi, Josh. Hi, nice to see you. Oh, thanks for stopping by anyways. Um, yeah, I'm happy that it looks great, I guess. And hi, Leon. Happy New Year. It's nice to see you around here. But anyways, yeah, so afternoon I have a stream with Shreya and we have a little competition going. So me and Shreya, we like to have fun when we are streaming. And we said, why not? So we're going to be trying to build a few things that we saw over the web, like, a few animations for buttons and sliders and whatnot. And we're going to see who gets done faster. But the catch is we are going to be using GitHub Copilot. So using AI support to see who is faster. So, if you cannot stick around, maybe come back later. I'll be having a second stream today. So that'll be fun. I'm very excited for that one. Well, I'm already talking on, and it annoys me when I start talking on and not showing code. So let's do some code. So right before the stream, I was setting up my application on GitHub Codespaces, but I'm going to show you what I did on a secondary app that I have, just so that if you're new to Codespaces, new to GitHub, you can, figure out what things are and how things go. Yeah, that's it. So what do you want to do? Are you excited to see some code? So today, and disclaimer, to be very fair, I never done Auth0 and Python and GitHub Codespaces together. So this is going to be a try and error kind of stream. So we're going to try to do things, and hopefully by the end of the stream today, everything will be working out and we will have figured out things, Also, I'm very excited. So before we start, I received some new swag from work today. Actually, it arrived yesterday, but I only got it today, this morning. And I'm wearing my new shirt with the new branding. Look at that. Look at this shield. Isn't it cute? I feel so fancy. So this is one of the shirts, the new shirts that if you see me at events, you're probably going to see me wear. There is another one, which I think is so funny, which is like this one. Look, y'all, no passwords. Yeah, I don't like passwords. Everybody knows that. So I'm very excited for wearing this one as well. Although I might need to talk to Jazz, the other Jazz. So there is another Jazz that works with me, Jazz Quick. You might have heard of her before, to get me a different size. I don't know. I feel this one is a little bit loose, but it might be my fault because I put that size in the spreadsheet. So Jazz, if you're watching this, we need to talk later. But anyways, let's jump into code, and I probably should open my GitHub as well, just to have that there. And yes, code now, code. And here we are. So this is my GitHub landing page, I guess, my profile one, and I filtered out everything so I don't see anything in here, just in case there are a few things showing up from my private repos. So that's why you don't see anything in there. It's not that I don't follow anybody or that I don't have any notifications, just that I hid it. But basically, I have a bunch of repos, and the one I'm working on today is the minimal FastAPI web app with Auth0 that I have in another tab there. But I'm going to show you how to do the same setup that I did with another one that I have, which is also called minimal. If I can type, would be nice. Minimal. Dear. So this one is with Flask. It has kind of the same thing. So why I had two semi-similar, well, almost equal repos happening here. So basically I was working on migrating a web application from Flask to FastAPI for work, and because I was curious, and then I realized that it was not just a copy paste, because even though Flask and FastAPI, for those of you who don't know, both web frameworks in Python, different kind of mindsets for each one of them, but both frameworks in Python that I use, and they are very similar, but they have a little bit of differences. And I realized that migrating from one to the other, there were like some pitfalls, and I wanted to have both web applications to, compare and write a blog post, which I'm going to drop in chat in just a second. And let's put that there, just so that if people find this out, they can. And this is the link. Yes, so I put in chat the link for the blog post that I put out there. And basically this blog post has information on what are the difference between Flask and FastAPI. Although they are very similar, some differences might catch you off guard when migrating. So basically that's why these two exist. But the one I'm going to be focusing on is the FastAPI one, because I wanted to change a little bit of the code. It was like, let's do everything all at once. And so I configured that one, and I'm going to show you how to configure this one. So the first thing you probably want to do if you're doing this thing with Codespaces is to create a code space. Because this is not empty, I can just go ahead and create a code space from in here, or from the Codespace dashboard, I would say. But usually what I do is I go to the repo that I want to work on, and I go click code, in the green button, I can either clone it to work on it locally, or I can go to the Codespaces tab and create a codespace on main. Well, I'm using main here, but I could have created a branch and then create a codespace on that branch. But I'm just going to do main just for simplicity's sake. And then Codespace will start, and you can see here, oh, wrong button. I changed my keyboard from location, and now I cannot type. That's what happens. So let me zoom in a little bit more. So basically this is the code space, and the code spaces is like, I'm starting out, you know, explore while we are configuring everything else. And it is complaining to me that I have deprecated formatting or settings for Python, which I always ignore. I have to figure that out, but don't tell anybody. And then once it starts, like, it detects that my project is a Python one, so it starts like already knowing because of the files that I have in here, and then it is set up. That's it. It takes a little bit of a while depending on how, you know, big or how many configurations it has to do, but usually it's that fast. And then I could just like start working from here. I could like create my Python environment, Python 3-m vm.m. And another thing you might notice, it is using a different setup than my usual because I haven't configured this one. So yes, to activate the Python environment, I have a shortcut instead of like typing the whole thing. And because this is not using my PS configuration, I cannot see that the environment is here, but it is here, trust me. And the last thing I want to do, I could like install all of the libraries and blah 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 and run my application. So let's try to do that. Pip install -r requirements.txt, which hosts all of the libraries that I use for this application, and I can run it and it's going to install everything, and it might take a little while. Usually it's pretty fast, which is good, I guess. And then I can run my application. This is a Flask web app, so in this README has all of the things that I need to do. So probably it's going to complain to me that this doesn't exist, so let's just create a new one, even though I'm not going to fill it up with anything. And these are my environment variables and like things like client secret and blah 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 that I might need to use. And I'm going to save it just so that it doesn't blow up in my face. That's why it's empty. It's fine. Everything's fine. And I installed everything. I created my environment, and I can just do run my application, allow, and what? What is going on? Oh, wait. Should I? Yes. Oh, there you go. It picked up on my configuration from on a new repo. On a new. Oh my God, what's going on? It did not install list. Yeah, it did not. I forgot to install. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But anyways, let's install again. Pip install -r requirements. I guess that's it. And now installing. Yay. What did I do before? Didn't I not install? It's already satisfied. Oh, weird. Anyways, fine. And let's try learning this again. And now it runs. Yay. So one thing that Codespaces does for us is either let you make it public so anybody could access it, or open in a browser for your like preview of your website. So it kind of works. Let me zoom in a little bit. And actually it works probably even better than my FastAPI one because it has this CSS that I set up, which is basically a dark mode kind of situation. But you know, that is information here. I'm not going to click login because I haven't configured anything on the Auth0 side there. I didn't have any of my client secrets, client IDs, and blah 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 that I need. So it would break, and I don't want things to break. And so I can close this because I don't need it. I can stop this. Now you know how everything is configured. And let's go back to my, not this one, this one. So basically what I did was the same thing for FastAPI instead of Flask, and the only difference, like the major difference, is my configuration file here actually has the setup from Auth0, like the client secret, client ID, and so on, that I need to redirect users to the Auth0 login page. So first things first, this is ready, but you can see here that I don't have like that little text box notification that tells me, hey, do you want to watch this, or do you want to see this on a web browser, on a page? And I could either do this to say it here, like not the preview, but like I could run the application here, which I'm not going to do, or I could, if I would locally, it would work better. Or I could, you know, find the port in here and click on the opening browser button, which is like this little web symbol, you know, like the little globe. Or I could open a preview editor, which would open in here, which is a simple browser. It works the same way. Let's open in browser because I already have everything zoomed in and it is too much going on at the same time. I'm also going to hide the files for now because I don't need to change those so soon. And if I open in browser, you're going to see that one first, my CSS is not here, which I know they are here. So that is something that we need to figure out, that Flask does differently from FastAPI. So probably I'm going to do a blog post on this after, you know, this stream next week sometime. And I want it to be pretty like the other one. Implement my dark mode and show my dark mode, but it's showing logout here. And if I do click logout, you're going to see like the domain, like the URL on my browser changes. So first we start with like friendly system blah 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 github.dev, which is the way that things are being served from my Codespaces. But if I click logout, it redirects me to localhost, the port, and then logout, which is something that would break my connection because I don't have anything running on localhost on my machine. And this is trying to access my machine. So the right way would be to do the whole domain, friendly system, blah, 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 github.dev, and have a logout here, logout. And this would redirect my users through the process of logging out from Auth0 and returning the empty session, so that we would not have a session, right? So we need to fix this. That's the first thing we need to fix, and I don't know how to do that, so let's figure out. I don't know if you are watching, if you do Python, and if you do FastAPI development or not, and if you know the answer, how to set up these things. If you have a guess, please drop that in the chat. I would love to know. Just a second. And okay, nothing important, fine. And now I know, for example, Flask and FastAPI both have things like the base URL kind of stuff. So I'm going to be using the domain here somewhere. I know that is one. So I need to configure that, but I don't really know how to do that. And I like documentation, so I'm going to take a look at the documentation first before I try things out and they don't work. So where? Maybe resources, maybe learn. Let's do the advanced user guide. The main tutorial user guide should be enough to give you a tour through all the main features of FastAPI. Here, the tutorial first. So skipping that. You could still use most of the features of FastAPI with the knowledge from the main tutorial. Okay, fine. I'll read it first, okay? You are so nice. Most features step by step. Run the code. I'm already running my code. I already have FastAPI. UVcorn, blah blah blah. And advanced user guides. Alright, fine. Where should I go next? So tutorial, first steps, path parameters, query parameters, request body, query. I'm trying to see if any of the options here, I'd say something like domain, so that I can find it. Path parameters and numeric validations, multiple parameters, fields, nested models, nested models, declare request example data, extract cookie, header, extra models, blah blah blah, handling errors, path operation configuration, JSON, incompatible decoder, security, nope, course, SQL, static files, testing, debugging, docs URLs. Can I? Maybe that would give me a hint because it has URLs in it. I don't know. I don't think it is, but anyways, let's take a look. Terms of service. I guess this is just a documentation and how URLs are going to be displayed within the Swagger documentation from FastAPI. Yep. See? Oh, it renders so pretty. Hyperlinks and everything. Okay, so not this one. So if you run this example, you go to localhost blah blah blah, you see the response, whatever. What if I want to have something different than localhost, like deploying to production, and I have my custom domain? What do I do then? I think this is advanced user guide and path operation advanced configuration. Maybe this one. You probably don't need this. I'm definitely not an expert in OpenAPI. So maybe I do. What's up? I don't know. You don't know me. Yeah, I'm thinking I don't actually do this. Do need this, to be honest. Additional resources. Yeah, so this is all about the documentation side. Additional responses in OpenAPI. So every time you read OpenAPI, FastAPI means documentation, okay? Response cookies, and apologies for that. I'm a little sleepy today. Response cookies, response headers, advanced dependencies using middleware behind the proxy. Testing, settings. Let's do settings. If it sounds like to me that this might be it. Let's see. So export my name with Wilson. Nice name. Echo, blah blah blah. Then you could use this in other programs, like, okay, fine. But that's not what I want, is it? So basically what is this going through is environment variables like the ones that we have for the configuration that has client secret, client ID, and whatnot. So instead of using a configuration file reading from the environment, types and validation, settings. Oh, you know what? I'm going to Google it. So Google, please tell me the answers for FastAPI domain configuration. If I could type, would be nice. Oh. So this does include domain. I don't want this. You probably cannot read what I'm doing. Okay, I guess this is better. In the DNS server, you could configure a record and point domain to the public IP address. Okay, let's take a look. What language is English? The language is English. Oh, funny. Interesting. It's easy to assume that something just enabled or not. Okay, yeah, very easy to assume that. but it's way more complex than that. To learn the basics, I don't need the basics. Okay, blah 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 blah. I just want that instead of using localhost, that it redirects everything for my domain. And I believe there is a way to do that easily, quote unquote easily, but that's a good question. I don't know, maybe it doesn't. Okay, a lot of explanation on how DNS, IPs, and blah 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 work. Blah blah blah, don't need that. Multiple applications. What is the part about the code? Set up HTTPS for FastAPI. That's what I want in some of the next chapters. So this is what I just read, okay? And this is one language that is not the one that I want. So let's go to learn. I guess it's learn. Deployment. That's where there was. UV core and server machine. Okay, UV core. I'm running that. Oh, so I can say the host is this one. So maybe this is what I want. I don't think it is, but can I try? I can try. Can I try running? Terminal. What is my terminal? Terminal. And what was the flag again? Host, yes. So let's use this, and that's to host and allow. Yeah, no. Name of service, not no. I know that. Yeah, I was trying to be optimistic. I knew it was going to fail, but you know, we never know. Because, for example, what I'm going to tell you is this: if you're using Jekyll, like I do, for your web app, you know, for like a single page application, static, and blah blah blah. If you give it the host, which is basically the domain that you can use, it is going to serve on localhost with that given domain for the website. So how does that work? Basically, instead of using local, when it builds the website, when it shows like localhost, whatever it would show localhost, instead of using localhost, it would use the link, the URL that I given it. So I thought maybe that could be the case for FastAPI at the same time as well, but nope. Oh, fine. Don't use reload in production. Okay, that's fine. Deploy FastAPI to cloud providers. Okay. What? Weird. Let's try this one. Okay, fine. Water wins. Example, deploying. Because I mean, there must be a way. Okay, I'm probably not thinking about this the way I should be thinking about this. So this was what we were looking at before, no? No. Okay. Let's do this differently. I think I'm overcomplicating, which is something that I'm very prone to doing. So let's go to GitHub. Tiangolo, FastAPI, Sebastian, and well, I could actually do what? Nope. Stop. Features, reference. Okay, here's the reference API. Can we find within this something related to the domain of my application? That's a good question, isn't it? You know, another thing that I could do is probably do so I'm just installing a different console than standard Python one, IPython, which I love because it has autocomplete. It is pretty in the sense of having colors in it. So I can just from FastAPI import FastAPI. I want to see if there is a configuration on the FastAPI class that I can use for that. So class FastAPI. Uses the Starlet. Debug routes. On shutdown, lifespan. State. App state. Okay. Where's my code? Here. Oh, this is hard to read. Okay, wait. Let's do that again. Oh, the documentation is very long and it's showing here. Annoying. FastAPI. Nope. Oh my god, I clicked on the same thing. Why do I do that sometimes? I don't know. FastAPI applications, FastAPI. Okay. I was in the right place. So FastAPI app class main entry point to use FastAPI. In itself app type. Annotated routes. The title of the API will be added to the like visible at /docs. You know? By the way, out of curiosity, is docs available? Nope. Got angry at me. Alright. Fine. Did I not run my server? That's why. Yep. Details. Activate and UV corn. Not this one, this one. And now let's try that again. Okay. Whoa, that's too big. So this is the docs profile. So these are all the endpoints that I have on my application. So application. I should have probably put in the information about the schema that this replies with a like page, so that the documentation knows, but I haven't. One thing that I need to improve, by the way. This other one is the profile, also a page. These two is like redirecting a user, so these two have documentation, which I just figured out that we can do a better way of showing this, so I'm going to improve that on a second time. All right, fine. Okay, so maybe this one, where was I reading? Yes, this one, title. So metadata, title of the API, summary, description, terms of service, Shimshan Gap. Great name. Deadpool favorites app, enough said. Okay. So I know, for example, if we pass the documentation as a dictionary with the name, which be the text, and the URL is going to hyperlink it, which is something that I want to improve for my application as well. I just don't get it. Why? I'm thinking. I'm going to be sneaky because I want to configure the Auth0 part, which I know is important. So I'm going to be a little bit sneaky, all right? And then we can figure out that later. And I think I'm probably overcomplicating this in my head as well. So open the browser, fine. So if I go to my templates, I know for a fact, if I use my templates for this, it's going to work out. So see here that I'm using URL for static and the path here. I know if I put like prepend this information in this string, it is going to work, or should work at least. I don't think I need this. Let's try. Let's save this. Let's see if this brings the CSS to the front. I'm going to inspect the source here a little bit. So it is, so it's building as localhost blah blah blah. Okay, so I need to make a way to substitute the localhost blah 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 to whatever is my domain. How do I do that? There should be a way to do that. I know there should be a way to do that. Okay, let's see in the configuration that I have for my application if I can add something. So FastAPI mount. So this is mounting the static file in here. Well, the static folder with all the files in there. There is only one anyways, but fine. I think that is an app dot something that could, or FastAPI. Look at that. Description, version, URL. Redirect slashes through docs URL /doc redoc /redoc. Fine. All right. Can I see like options to complete from here? Add route. Oh dear Lord, why did I click? Docs URL, description. Schema URL. What is this? Is this a method or is this? I think it's a method. Feels like a method. No, it's a variable. Yep, not callable. Can I do something like this? Not return. Where did it come from? Oh dear. I'm doing things in the wrong place. Oh my god, how could I break in this so badly? Wait. So this is the middleware. Yes, I want to do a line app dot what is the name again? Open API. Do equals. Let's just see. Okay, it's supposed to be working. And if I do, oh, it's not. It's still style sheet still shows. Can I zoom in this? Nope. Style sheet still shows like localhost whatever. I feel like there was like should be a CLI command that I should put in here when I run it to let it know that this is my base URL instead of localhost. For some reason, that's what I feel like you should have there. Commenting this out just because. I could also change the URL for just for like, you know, that string and whatever the endpoint is. I could. Do I want to do that? Not really. Okay. I don't want to do it, but I want to try to see if it works. It's just, you know, I'm curious about it to see. Sorry. Bear with me. I promise. Well, I let everybody know. So this is me trying out to understand how things are working. So what is this is the domain, the URL, and then I want the path. I want to be static, and I want to have style CSS. Yes, and this doesn't work because this is not Python. So this is actually a comment. Okay. So I guess this is saved. Let's see if it serves. Nope. Well, ish. It is kind of working. At least updated the thing here. So why is the CSS not pretty like the one that I had for Flask? What's going on there? Now I'm doubting whatever it is that I did before, which is never a good sign, you know? Now I'm curious. Well, how did I do that on the other one? Because I know I ran this locally the other day and I know it was working. So why is not working? Why is it wrong? So I'm closing this one. Oh, I'm going to open the, not this one, the other one, dear Flask. Thank you. And web app, templates, home. No, what is the base? Base HTML, static, styles. Oh, did I type that wrong? I could have typed that wrong. Styles, is that the name of the file? Styles, yes, that's why. So that's why it was not working. This was right. I typed it wrong. Okay, let's try again. Well, it is styles. Static slash styles. So, okay, so the test is, does this work? Oh, I know why. It's because they're serving domains on the same domain as the one that I'm using for development. So thank you, Jessica, for doing wrong things and not figuring out. Okay, now we get it. I guess this is where you're going to work. So what was the thing that I just ran in here? So I know that when we were running the Flask one, it was working. So basically, localhost, for some reason, Flask knows how to redirect things, and FastAPI doesn't. I need to figure out that, and I'm going to do that off stream, especially when I'm like actually writing the blog post. But I knew that static/sios, I needed to check if it existed. So it does exist if I use the correct URL for my application that is served on from GitHub Codespaces, right? So now here we are. So the file exists. I can see that in the browser because this is the content of that file. And now it works. Nothing like using the correct URL. So basically, let's go over what I did again. So this is the, oh dear, I'm going to use this. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is available somehow for my application and use that to construct my application instead of just hard code that here. I want to do that some way different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to my config file, and I'm going to change my, what is the name of this thing again? My scene to one where you can see me but you cannot see my code. Give me a second. Hi, it's me, the big screen. Why? Because I don't want to share my client secrets with all of the internet. So I'm going to type the things here within my config file, and I'm going to call it a URL, prod URL, well, cloud URL, URL, that's fine. Going to put that inside there. So that's friendly system, whatever the thing was, and which is, I realized, a little bit different because it has the port. So whenever you, okay, one stop. Okay, I save the file. Let me finish this, and then I can show you how to do what I want to do. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but anyways, let me show you what the difference was. Going back to the code. Okay, so what I was doing before, I was copying the URL from my VS Code instance from GitHub Codespaces where I can type the code, right? So this is my URL. But whenever you run an application that has a preview and you open that as a web browser, you need to forward the port that you are using to run that application so that you can render that on your web browser, and even though you're not necessarily running the thing on your machine. So what happens is, to have that information like in a page that people can see, GitHub Codespaces adds a little bit of information to this URL, which is the port that was forwarded. So I could have multiple instances running on different ports and looking at them in different windows or tabs of my browser. So this was the thing that I was doing wrong before. I was putting on only the information for the link for my Codespaces, but without the port. So now that I added the port, things worked. Yay, victory. And that's how you see things in a pretty way. But now let's try logging in first. And I know I'm going to, okay. My browser for some reason thinks that I'm logged in, but I'm not. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to log in again, and it's going to break. And here, let me show you what happened. So this is a page that Auth0 is serving and say something went wrong. Usually for development, that's very helpful because you can see what went wrong from Auth0 in a friendly way. And Just-Streams, which is my tenant, where my application is configured, something went wrong with that application when receiving the information from the web app. So a few things. For me to see this page, it means that the client secret, client ID, and domain are at least working in my application, because Auth0 received the information and knows that this is the application that is trying to access the login page. So that's why it shows me something went wrong. If some of those information were not right, it probably wouldn't show me all of this information, to be honest. So let's figure out that part. So here it shows me a explanation on what happened. So callback URL mismatch. The provided redirect URI is not the list of allowed callback URLs. Interesting. So that means that I need to figure out what is the correct callback URL for this thing, which, you know, I kind of know why. Because I did this before and I was like, interesting. Please go to the application settings page, which I already have. Oh, I used to have open here somewhere. I think I closed it. Oh no, it's there. So this is my Auth0 dashboard. We are going to navigate to the application settings page in a bit, but I could have clicked here because it is a hyperlink and it would take me directly to that. And make sure that you're sending a valid callback URL from your application. In my case, I know for a fact that I'm not sending a valid callback URL because since I'm running things from GitHub Codespaces, I know the URL is not what is expecting because it's coming from GitHub Codespaces, not from my localhost, which would be the callback URL that it would be there. And if you scroll even further, that is technical details, see details of this error. I always see this because I think it's interesting. And you can also contact the system administrator, in this case, me, because, you know, I'm the person that has access, admin access to this thing. And then it shows information like unauthorized client, callback URL mismatch, HTTPS localhost callback is not in the list of allowed callback URLs. I was like, which makes sense because all of my callback URLs does not have the S from HTTPS, it's only had the HTTP. So what happens? Codespaces kind of does it magic, and it uses HTTPS to send the information. When I'm developing locally, the server that I use, which is my local server, is going to be HTTP. But because it's coming from Codespaces, it's coming with an S there, so we need to add that to the information. So once you log into your dashboard on Auth0, which is this, you're probably going to see something like that. I'm also seeing new to Auth0. This is because I just created this tenant this morning, so it's a brand new tenant, and also putting me in the trial for using like all the enterprise features that are not on the free plan, but you know, it's just a title of curiosity. So if you have your Auth0 account in your tenant for a long time, you're probably not going to see this, just so you know. So if I navigate to in the menu on left side, excuse me, I'm feeling a little bit ill this week because of, I don't know, you know, like a little bit of a cold. My voice feels weird and my throat feels dry, which is not helpful for joining live streams, I guess. So in the left side panel that has a menu, I can go to my applications and I'm going just to click applications here. And you're going to see that is the default app from Auth0. It comes from the tenant. I didn't configure. And the FastAPI minimal, which was the one that I configured right before this stream. So if I click on it, I can actually see information from my app. And so it has the name, I can change that after creation. It has the domain, I cannot change that because it comes from my tenant. So this is the name of my tenant, just-streams.us, which is the region. You can see the little flag from the United States on the top here. And .auth0.com, which is the domain for Auth0. And then the client ID and the client secret, which I'm not going to show you. I could add a description for my application. That is helpful if I have a bunch of applications in the same tenant so that I can know which one is which. And I could also change the application logo if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that. So this is all like customization options that you can have. This is the type of my application. It is a regular web application because it has login, logout. It's not like an API. That would be a machine to machine within Auth0 dashboard, and it is not a single page application because it is not single pages, multiple pages. And then there is application login URI, which could, if you have like domains and you need to redirect people to different places, this is one that you can use. So here I have the callback URLs, and you're going to notice that I have my localhost, which is HTTP localhost. If I were developing locally, this would be fine. Or 127.0.0.1, which is also HTTP, because when I'm developing locally, this is what I use. So this is my development tenant, and you can see that information on the top left corner. Under the tenant name, that is a tag, that is development. You can have development, staging, and production if you want to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add something to this list. Why? Because if I were developing locally, I want my callback URLs to function if I'm developing locally as well. And I know that my local development is going to send HTTP, not HTTPS, and those are two different ones. That's why Auth0 tells you that you had a mismatch. So I'm going to add both of these with an S for HTTPS secure, HTTP secure, and oops, not this one, this one. And I'm going to run that login process again and see if it works. Now, kids, mind you, it's very important to save your changes after you've done them. So click the Save Changes button in the bottom right corner, and it's going to notice successfully saved your changes. Changes may take up to 30 seconds before they take effect. Keep that in mind. So if things, you added the information, you saved it, and it's still not working, maybe take a deep breath. You know, go drink a little bit of a coffee or some water, and then go back to your application to see what's going on. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to click login again. And it works. Yoo-hoo. Just to zoom out a little bit so that you can see what's going on. So basically, this is the login page. So it's working now, and I can develop things as I should. Awesome. So you can log into Jest streams and continue to FastAPI minimal. So what I'm going to do, I don't have a profile here yet. I don't have a user here. So I'm going to create one, and I'm going to click sign up, or I could continue with Google. I don't want to continue with Google because this is just a development sample application, and I don't want to have another thing. So I'm going to sign up. I'm going to type in my email from my work email, and I'm going to copy a password that I created before this stream, just for this stream, from my password manager. And kids, keep in mind, use password managers, activate MFA, do everything you need to do. And I guess it is showing information here. This is wrong. You should have a tick here. Interesting. Probably I should send a message to people about this. Anyways, continue is going to ask me, not right now, Okta, thank you, to authorize these applications. So, hi, Jessica, email. FastAPI minimal is requesting access to your JetStreams account. So basically, it's requesting access to that application information and profile. Because this is my application and it wants to be able to access information from that profile. Notice that even though I'm using my work email, I don't have a gravatar for this work email. I should probably create that one. But if I had like information all over the web about this, on this, tied to this email, it would show here. So for example, I know when I use my personal email, I can see a photo here because I have my gravatar profile set up for that email that has a photo, a profile photo, and it would include this information within my user, within the dashboard there. So I can accept this, and something broke. What broke? Why it broke? Why is broken? Oh, that's interesting. Can provide a secure connection. Oh, I think I know. Interesting. If I go, oh, I know. So it's trying to redirect me back to localhost. All right. And the problem is, I'm not running on localhost, right? I'm running that on that browser URL from GitHub Codespaces. And I don't think this can happen, but let's try to let's see if this works. I don't think it's going to. Yep. Can't be found. Interesting. That's because I forgot the door here. Yes. So I logged in. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why I was trying to figure out that whole putting the domain in the application. And I guess it's already 11 a.m. here for me. And my stream is supposed to end at 11. It's 11:01 already. I'm already late. Oi, Jean. Hi, Jean. How you doing, my friend? Hope everything is good. Are you streaming again? Games and whatnot? I know you graduated. Congratulations, by the way. And you should probably have more time to stream. I'm looking forward to watching more of your videos on YouTube as well. So shout out to Jean. Jean does a lot of content in Portuguese. So if you speak Portuguese and watching this by any chance, go check out Jean's YouTube and Twitch and whatnot. He's nice. Anyway, so this is my profile and I need to figure out that part. And I guess I'm going to do that on the next live stream or offline. And if I do figure out how to do this, you know, I'm going to ask a few friends how to do that. I will let everybody know on social or on Twitch. And this was fun. It worked-ish, kind of. But now I know, like for example, that I need to figure out the whole domain thing so that my redirects and my buttons work as they should. So for example, if I go here to home, it's going to try to bring me to localhost. And that's not what I want. I want to go here and I want to, home should be this place. There's no place like home. Thanks, Dorothy. Anyways, that's it. I'm going to stop here today because I don't think I'm going to figure out things in the next half an hour and I probably need a break. Hi, learner. Nice that you joined. This stream is going to be recorded. It's going to be available also on YouTube and here on Twitch as a highlight. So you can check that out later. And that's it. I hope everybody has, like, you know, great plans for the weekend. If not, just rest and play some video games. I have some work to do on a few things I'm preparing for next month and next week. But I'm probably going to be playing video games as well. I want to finish Dave the Diver. Yes, so let me know if you have any plans for the weekend. I'm going to figure out somebody to raid from Twitch. From this stream. But anyways, it was nice to see everyone here. I hope you had fun. Well, I figured out a few things that I need to work on and discover. So that's good. You know, progress, steps, next steps. I have a to-do list. Oh, hi Juma, thanks. How you doing? I'm seeing all of my friends in chat. That's so great. Okay, stream manager. Let's see who is online. Who's online? Who's online? Twitch. If anybody has anyone they want to, you know, rate, I know from Twitch, let me know. I'd love to rate those people. So GitHub's online doing an event in Spanish. There is also Young Codes, learning Postgres, SQL, and Vim Tutor. Oh, maybe we could do Young Codes. She's a friend. She's learning a lot of programming and whatnot, and studying programming. Yeah, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Great game, amazing world building. Oh, nice. I don't know. I'm scared of Red Dead. Oh my god, I'll say Red Dead Redemption. I don't know why. Every time I see the trailer, like, you know. There is something about being a cowboy in the Wild West that is interesting, but I don't know. I probably not my type of game. So Jean said, just enjoying riding my horse and playing poker. Oh, that's fun, I guess. I'm a cozy gamer kind of vibes type of person, so I like to play cozy games like Dave the Diver. I haven't played in a while, but I like Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing as well. But right now I'm trying to finish the diver, which is very hard for me, especially because I have to defeat all the bosses and I'm very scared of sharks and whatnot. So, you know, trying to play and I enjoyed the other part, which is basically fishing to do the sushi restaurant and planting fruits and vegetables and taking care of the chickens, and that for me is more fun than the defeating bosses, which is kind of great because David Diver, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do next, a little bit of it, so I'm kind of enjoying it. But yeah, scared of the sharks. Okay, I think I found somebody to raid. Thanks everybody that watched. If you watch this on Twitter or LinkedIn, please let me know. I love to know what you thought of the stream, and if you want to see more of this kind of content. I plan on doing a few other streams next week on different stuff. So for example, I want to try out Resend and Fly.io. I deployed things to the cloud before, and I did email with other providers as well. But I want to try Resend for the first time, and I want to try Fly.io for the first time as well. So I might do that on stream next week. Let's see how my week schedule is going to go, because I was going to do at least one of them this week and I didn't have the time. So Jean says, I like cozy games too, if you consider Pokemon a cozy game. Oh yes, I do. So you want to know one that I think is a cozy game, but it might not be, depending on how you look at it. Palworld, that is on my list, and I want to try that one so bad. But I haven't looked for, to be honest, anybody playing it on the Stream Deck, and I don't have a PC gamer, so I need to figure out how to play it from the Stream Deck and try it out. But anyways, yes, I do like Pokemon, and I consider Pokemon a cozy game. It is pretty chill, I guess. Anyways, let's rate somebody from Twitch. Okay, yeah. And H. Found it. And start raid. Once again, thanks everybody for joining, and don't forget, I have another stream later today, so I hope to see you there for seeing me and Shreya trying to figure out who's faster with AI. We are going to be implementing a few things using GitHub Copilot. It's going to be fun, I guess. See you soon. Bye.